Hamilton. Welcome to the Devil's Advocate Live. I'm Sophia Groke alongside David Humphreys. Thanks for tuning in during Period 8 today.
Events like door decorating can really help get people into the holiday spirit. We have not one but two shows for you today. After this episode, we will feature a special holiday edition from the Period 5 class to go along with the door decorating activity.
But first, let's get to the news. Members of the junior and senior class recently received letters to apply for membership of the National Honor Society. The application process involves a lot of work. For that story, let's go to reporter Kaylee McGrath.
National Honor Society is a program offered at Hamilton High School for students who excel in academic courses and are involved in the school overall. With the application process coming to an end on November 26, I'm Kaylee McGrath with the Devil's Advocate asking students their views on NHS. What are the 4 pillars centered around National Honor Society and what do they mean?
Leadership, scholarship, character, and service is what makes an NHS member. It just makes you like a candidate for NHS, and it shows like how you are in school and how you are as a person.
In what ways can NHS acceptance be beneficial to a student? Is it necessary?
NHS acceptance really helps you with your community service and getting into college. It builds your character, and it's necessary to grow as a person.
What was the application process like for those seeking membership? What did it all involve?
It was kind of really difficult because we had to get a lot of signatures and a lot of just running around and trying to get ourselves like involved in a lot of things, and the essay and like trying to brag but not trying not to brag. It was just, but it's all worth it in the end because if I do get in, it's really good.
Which aspect of the application process was most challenging to do?
The essay, because it was in a format that I never wrote in before.
If you had the opportunity to be part of the program, would you take it?
I would, because I think it looks really good on a college application.
Why are you in the program and why do you think others should join?
I'm in NHS because it's a good way to help the community and get connected with the other kids in the school. And I think other kids should join so we have more people to help us go to do different events and stuff like that.
National Honor Society helps benefit a student's academic career and better them as a person overall. I'm Kaylee McGrath with the Devil's Advocate, signing off.
Thank you, Kaylee. Good luck to all those who applied.
In national news, the world of politics is dominating more and more of the headlines. With the next presidential election this November, many Hampton High School students will be voting for the first time. But how much do students really think politics play in their daily lives? John Tajirian reports.
Next November, the nation will be voting for the next presidential election. For HHS students, this will be their first time to vote at a national level. But how much of a role do politics really play in their lives?
How do you feel about the upcoming election this year and about teenagers who are voting for the first time this year?
I definitely think it's going to be interesting, but for first-time voters, I feel as if you should do some research and figure out what you're actually voting on and go from there.
I'm really excited about the 2020, upcoming election, and I do think teenagers have an influence on it because, at the end of the day, we're the upcoming generation, and, we have a big say in what goes on in the United States because at the end of the day, we do go to school here. We are learning about everything that has to do with the presidential debate. So, yeah, I'm excited.
It absolutely does have an effect on the election. I mean, we have so many different levels with political leaders that we elect. We have local, state, county, all these different levels. So when you look at local level, it absolutely matters. I mean, there's elections in 2019 that were decided by 6-7 votes on a local level. And when you look at the national level, the vote still counts. It counts towards the state. And the will of the state is ultimately how the state votes in the Electoral College. So your vote absolutely matters, and you should absolutely get out and vote.
Of course, I think it matters. I think every person that's eligible to vote needs to exercise their right to hold our political leaders accountable. Otherwise, if they don't, we end up with more radical leaders, more extreme, that don't compromise, that don't accomplish anything. So it's important for everybody to go forth and vote, for sure.
They definitely have an influence. I think there was a study done that new voters are going to make up the majority of voters in the relatively near future. So if they would all go out and vote, then most likely what their consensus of a vote would probably elect the next president.
I'm John Tajirian with the Devil's Advocate, signing off.
There's certainly a lot to consider when it comes to politics and voting. Thanks for the story, John.
Politics are often filled with debate, but one debate that has been dominating the conversations of HHS students is a little more lighthearted. The subject, macaroni and cheese. The debate, spoon or fork. People are getting quite heated about it.
I'm Jeff Berger with the Devil's Advocate, and we're going around school asking students if they use a spoon or a fork when they eat mac and cheese.
Spoon or fork?
Fork, definitely. Spoon only for children. Fork is the way to go. Nothing more to it.
I say a spoon, one, because you can scoop it, get all the cheese, and you get more noodles than you can get with a fork. Second of all, at the end of the bowl, if you want to get the extra cheese out, you ain't like getting the curds of a bowl with a fork. You're gonna get it with a spoon, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Definitely fork. Anything that has a noodle should be fork unless it's soup.
Probably fork, because with a spoon it's mainly for cereal, but like forks you can just stab the mac and cheese.
I don't know, I just kind of like to use a fork, just,
Spoon. Fork. Because you can choose what noodles you want to eat. Spoon because you get more surface area on a spoon, so you can fit more noodles on there.
Fork. I think it's gonna be a spoon because I can get more gription when I eat the mac and cheese. Obviously a fork, because a fork you can scoop it and you can stab it and you can get every noodle out of the bowl. If you use a spoon, you're just crazy. It just makes no sense at all.
Fork.
I think spoons are supposed to be used to eat mac and cheese. Doesn't make sense to use a fork. You're not gonna stab it, you gotta scoop it.
spoon because you can fit a lot more stuff on the spoon and you can act like a shovel.
Fork because you don't eat pasta with a spoon.
I use a fork for mac and cheese, and if anyone uses a spoon for mac and cheese, I really don't understand where you're coming from. It's kind of just really stupid.
Fork, definitely. Why? Because you just don't have to scrape. You can just stab the pasta. It's just so much easier than using a spoon.
Fork so you can stab the pasta noodles.
Fork because it's easier to pick up.
Spoon because when you use a spoon, you get more out of it, and when you use a fork, all the cheese starts to fall down. You know what I'm talking about?
Fork. Why? Because it's a spoon and a fork.
Which one do you use, a spoon or a fork? I'm Jeff Berger with the Devil's Advocate, signing off.
Who knew that people could get so passionate about eating utensils? I'm not sure it's settled, but it was entertaining to watch.
Be sure to keep your TVs on for Period 5's holiday show, which we will air in a few minutes. Visit us at hhsadvocate.com or on all Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For myself, Sophia, and the rest of the crew, thanks for watching.